tracking, always alerting. This is Storm Team 8.
Good morning. We're starting to get a few of those reports in of glazed areas and areas covered in sleet. So as you're waking up this morning, if you can do it safely, snap a picture, send it our way, because it is very helpful determining what's actually on the ground, that ground truth. Additional ice accumulation is expected through the morning. So we're not done yet. Even through noon, we have that chance of accumulating ice. And those bitter winds could still gust up to 40 miles per hour as we go through the first half of the day, especially. But Matt Kirkwood's going to be in just a second to show you how those trend downward through the day. With the wind and the ice, power outages still possible through this afternoon. Temperature futurecast shows that we start off below freezing for a lot of spots, but watch what happens once we get afternoon. Many of us climbing above freezing. So through the day today, we're going to see a transition just to plain old cold rain before more cold air wraps on down, and then overnight tonight we actually convert over to snow. So through the day today, don't be surprised if you start to see a bit of melting. That could make things slick as well, though. So the melting might not necessarily be a good thing for everyone. Storm Track Live, a bit of a mess. We have a lot of different colors going on here. In the blue, we've got snow. In this purple color, we have that rain-snow mix or sleet. Pink is the one that I'm most concerned about because this is the one that's indicating some of the freezing rain. Line from that is from Rockford down through Grand Rapids, down through Kalamazoo, over to Battle Creek. So a glaze potentially there. We have a lot of moisture pumping up into West Michigan from the Gulf. So that's why we have the continuation of a chance of ice as we go throughout the next several hours here. We've got a lot of moisture feeding into the system. Quickly, a look at that ice accumulation futurecast from here on out. Looks like we could pick up more of that rain and that sleet, totaling another 1/4 of an inch in some spots. And it's cold. Our wind chill futurecast showing that it's going to feel like 20 degrees around 9 a.m. At most feeling like 31 later on today. That's at 7 p.m. To talk more about that, the cold and the wind, want to send it out to Matt Kirkwood right now.
Well, thanks, Ellen. Right now, I'm going to be doing these live hits outside of our station in downtown Grand Rapids about every 15 minutes. And I'm going to give you an idea at each hit of what kind of precipitation we're having. Predominantly right now, it is sleet, a little bit of freezing rain mixing in as well. And you can kind of see this right here. I brought my vehicle over, and it gives you an idea. It looks like we've had about 1/10 of an inch of freezing rain accumulate on the hood of my car and also on the windshield. I came in right around or shortly after 2 o'clock, and that's the last time I scraped the windows. And you can still see there's just a glaze out there showing up. The good news is if you look at my windshield wipers right now, a lot of it has actually been sleet on top of this freezing rain. I say that's a good news because that actually helps out on the roads just a little bit. The roads were all slippery when I came in, at least the untreated roads. So be aware of that. It's just one of those mornings. If you don't have to travel, I advise not doing it. Okay, let's take a look at the winds. I'm on the west side of our Wood TV 8 studio building, and that's a good thing because we have a howling wind out of the east right now, and you know that if you were out yesterday. We've had some gusts up around 48 miles an hour officially at the airport yesterday, and even some 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts. The strongest wind for us today is going to be during the morning hours. As that area of low pressure lifts further north, we ought to see the strongest of the winds start shifting north of us up around the Big Rapids area in northern and lower Michigan. We ought to see our winds start to subside here across lower Michigan or from Grand Rapids southward. So a bit of good news there. And so, yeah, then we're going to have to start talking about snow later on for tomorrow. But to add insult to injury, last year on this date, our temperature was 80 degrees.
Yeah,
back to you.
Hard to hear. Hard to hear. So it feels 65 degrees colder right now than it did this time last year. We have a 60 in the upcoming 8-day forecast. So I just want to walk you through the morning here for those of you that are worried and trying to make a call. Again, you can see how we have that ice accumulating and then everything lifting out by 5 o'clock. And that 8-day forecast, I can't give you an 80, Evan, but I can at least give you some 50s and maybe a 60 by this time next week. But for the next couple of days, 30s.
Hey, I am excited just seeing next weekend. We will keep that in mind while we're dealing with what we're seeing this weekend.
It helps.
Yes, that's for sure. Ellen, thank you for that.